Hello everyone, this is Anna. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an animated pick-a-card GIF or video in Photoshop. So if you have a card deck or you're planning on creating a card deck and you want a pick-a-card GIF or video to promote your deck, then this is how to do it, or one way to do it, but this is how I do it, and this is definitely the best possible quality that you can get. So the first thing you need to do is you need to prepare your images. So every single slide in your animation needs to be prepared as a separate image and needs to be saved as a separate image. That's the most important thing. And you can do this in Canva if you prefer using Canva for graphic design, and then just go ahead and save every single image as a separate file. Or you can do this directly in Photoshop, which is what I did here. Or if you want to, you can simply use the card images without any fancy additional design elements around them. That can work as well. And that might be the best option if you want to create an animated GIF, because the image quality will be a little bit lower. If you want to create a video, then this can work just fine. So I have already saved all my slides as separate images, but if you're doing this for the first time, I'm just going to very quickly show you how to do this. So first of all, you can just go to File and then Export and Save for Web. And these are the settings that I'm using here. And this is the image size that I'm using, which is kind of the standard square format for Instagram right now, which is why I chose this size. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and save the image. And in this case, here you can see all the images that I've already saved. This is card number 29, so I would just use this file name and then go ahead and save. And that's it. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Photoshop feature that's not as well known. It's a little bit advanced, but this is very handy because it's going to make things a lot quicker and easier for you. So we're going to go to File and then Scripts and load files into Stack, which is basically an easy way to load all the files into one single image file that you can then use to create your animation. So I'm just going to go ahead and click here, Browse. So here you can see all my images, and I'm just going to select all of these and then Open and click OK. And now what you'll see is Photoshop is loading all of these images into one image file, which is what we're going to need. So basically every single slide is a separate layer in this document, and that's exactly what we'll need. So next we're going to go ahead and create the animation. The first thing you need to do is go to Window and then Timeline. And then you'll see this little button here, Create Frame Animation. Just go ahead and click that. And here you can see just the first slide that has been turned into a frame for the animation. Now we want all the slides in here, and this is how to do it. So you just click on this icon here and then go ahead and select Make Frame from Layers. And here we have all the layers as separate slides for the animation. Now what you can see is, you might not notice, but I can see it, the images are actually in the wrong order. So to correct that, we're just going to go ahead and click here again and select Reverse Frames. And now they are in the correct order. And now we can go ahead and test the animation. Just click on the plate icon here. And this is what it's going to look like. And one more thing I'm going to show you here is now you can see that the delay between the slides is basically set to 0 seconds or none. If you want to increase the time between the slides, then this is how to do it. Basically, just click here and then hold the Shift key and go all the way to the end, select all the frames, and then we can just click on any of these arrows here. And here you can adjust the time between the slides. So we can set it to 0.1 seconds and see what changes. So now the delay is just a little bit longer between the different slides. Or you can set it to 0.5 and see what that looks like. Yeah, so now it's a lot slower, as you can see. Now I'm just going to put it back to no delay, or 0.1 would work as well, but I usually prefer this option here. Okay, now this is basically everything you need to do to prepare the animation. In the next step, we're going to save the video/GIF. Let's start with the video. Now to save this as a video, we can just go to File again, and then Export and Render Video. And I've already selected the correct folder here, but if you want to save yours in a folder that's not yet suggested here, you can just go ahead and find it here by clicking on Select Folder and then finding your folder. And then choose a file name for the image. I'm just going to name this Divine Magic Pick a Card. And here, these are all the settings that I'm using. I would suggest using a high quality setting. This was the default when I loaded this, and this would be saved as an MP4, which is great, and everything else looks good too. Now, as you can see, again, here the document size is 1080 by 1080. If it's different in your settings, I would highly recommend selecting this option here, document size, and then it will save the video in the original format. Now we can click on Render to save the video. This is going to take a moment, and that's it. Now I can just go ahead and find my video in here and play it. And this is what it looks like. Now I will also show you how to save this as an animated GIF. Again, we can go to File and then Export and then Save for Web. And now instead of saving this as a JPEG, we're going to save it as a GIF. And again, these are the settings that I'm using. And you can play around with the options here, but usually I use the adaptive setting. You could also use perceptual. And you can just see how the colors look best. So these actually look pretty good, but I'm just going to go back to adaptive. And then everything looks good here. You can play around with this setting here as well. Sometimes what you'll see when you upload a GIF to Giphy, for example, is that the image quality is not great, and you can improve it a little bit by reducing the file size, which you can see down here. So for example, we can adjust the setting here and make it a little bit more lossy, and it actually doesn't look too bad. The colors will be affected a bit. You can see there's a bit of graininess here, and you can just play around with the settings here. You can see when I play around with the setting, when I adjust the setting, the file size is reduced a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it. And I'm just going to save it in here. And again, name it Divine Magic Pick a Card .gif. And that's it. And now again, I can go ahead and open it, and I can just see it in my file preview here. And one thing I want to say here one more time, if you have the choice between uploading a GIF or a video, then typically the video is the better option simply because you'll get better quality. And if you upload this to Instagram or Facebook, for example, because it's a very short video, it will actually be looped, so it will not just play to the end, but it will keep repeating, I think, for about 30 seconds or a minute or so. So that will be plenty of time for your people to take a screenshot and pick a card. This is everything I have for you in this video. I hope this was helpful. If you would like to learn more about how to create and publish your own Oracle card deck, I have a course on my website, which I'm going to link down below. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sending you lots of love, and I can't wait to be back with more very soon.